It all started like any other road trip. I was driving a friend's car from Phoenix to Las Vegas. It was almost 10 p.m. I had been behind the wheel for 6 straight hours, and my eyes were starting to blur from exhaustion. There was no way I was going to risk driving deeper into the desert at night. Too many horror stories about accidents caused by tired drivers. There was a tiny truck stop marked on the map, Red Mesa Truck Stop, right off an old abandoned highway. No motel, just a couple of ancient gas pumps, a dusty little store, and a parking lot where you could catch some sleep. When I pulled off the road, the place looked exactly like I expected. Old, run down, lit by a few flickering orange lights on tall poles. A few trucks were parked neatly in rows, but something about them felt off. I sensed it the second I turned off the engine. No one was getting out of the trucks. No cabin lights, no music, no movement. Just still, abandoned hulks. I fueled up, grabbed a bottle of water and a bag of chips from the store. The clerk, an old man with clouded eyes, didn't say a word even when I greeted him. He just rang up my stuff, tossed the change on the counter, and turned his back to me. I didn't hang around. I got back in the car, locked the doors, and decided to just sleep in the seat, like I'd done plenty of times before. But sleep never came. First, I heard it, a faint scraping sound, like someone dragging something over gravel. Far off at first, then getting closer. I froze, holding my breath. Maybe coyotes? Then again, footsteps, slow, heavy. I cracked my eyes open and saw it. Through the grimy windshield stood a figure, a man, or something shaped like one, dressed in loose, baggy clothes, face hidden under a baseball cap. He just stood there a few meters away, staring straight at me. And behind him, further back, I noticed others. More figures were emerging from behind the trucks, slowly, in the same unnatural gliding way. And not a sound except for that soft scraping of their steps on the dirt. I don't know how long I sat there, afraid to even blink. Minutes stretched into what felt like hours. The figures didn't rush, they didn't bang on the windows or shout. They just steadily closed in, drawing a tightening circle around my car. Then, my phone buzzed from a notification on the passenger seat. That tiny vibration sounded like an explosion in the dead silence. I flinched instinctively. They heard it too. I saw it. Every head suddenly jerked toward me in perfect unison. That's when I knew. If I didn't move now, they would find an empty car here in the morning. I acted without thinking. I grabbed the keys and cranked the ignition without caring about the noise. The engine roared to life, shattering the stillness. The headlights cut through the dark, revealing the closest ones. And that's when I realized they weren't human. Their faces were wrong. Their skin looked stretched too tight like dried out leather. Some didn't even have features, just a smooth, shiny surface where a face should be. They looked like cheap mannequins abandoned in the desert to rot. Except these mannequins moved, and they moved with purpose. I floored it, but the road was slipping away beneath me. I swear I was driving straight, but the highway never got any closer. In the rearview mirror, I watched the whole truck stop coming to life. Figures crawling out from parked rigs, gas pumps, even the crumbling little store. Dozens, maybe hundreds. All of them are moving toward me. I tried to turn around, but the truck stop wasn't the same anymore. The wooden poles holding the lights were growing longer, like giant rotting fingers. The sky above turned this filthy, sick gray, like daylight had come in an instant. But there was no sun, just a pale, unnatural glow. That's when I realized I was stuck. This wasn't a real place. It wasn't a dot on the map. It was a trap. The brakes screeched as I slammed to a stop. The engine died. I was alone in the stillness, surrounded by the figures. I locked the doors, but what was the point? They came closer. I heard their dry hands scratching against the glass, softly, patiently. One of them leaned right against my window, pressing its face, that featureless skin mask, against the glass. And I heard it, not through my ears, in my mind. Stay. Your car will be your home. You will become one of us. I screamed and beat my fists against the wheel, desperately flipping switches, cranking the key. Nothing. The car was dead. So I did the only thing I could think of. I threw open the door and ran. Anywhere. Just away. The sand clutched at my feet like quicksand, but I didn't stop. I didn't look back. Not until I realized I wasn't running forward. I was running in circles. The same old pumps, the same decaying trucks, the same waiting, silent figures. The last thing I remember is one of them getting too close. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. It raised one long, twisted hand, the joints all wrong, and touched my forehead, and the world blinked out. I woke up, in my car. The engine was running. The clock read 7:43 a.m. The truck stop was deserted. Not a single truck, not a single person. Just a ruined, abandoned patch of sand and cracked concrete, like no one had been here in decades. I didn't waste a second. I hit the highway, driving as fast as I dared. Sometimes, late at night, when I'm lying in bed, I hear that scraping sound outside my window. That patient, steady shuffling. And sometimes I wonder if I ever really left that place. If maybe I'm still there, still trying to wake up. Edit. Thanks for all the support. I tried searching for Red Mesa Truck Stop online. It doesn't exist. Not on Google Maps. Not anywhere. Just dead roads and empty desert. If you're ever driving through the Arizona desert, don't stop. Just keep going.